13 officers who fired bullets into that car after that car chase. But of the 13, the one officer charged with voluntary manslaughter, he was the only one who reportedly jumped up onto the hood of the car, stood on the car's hood, and then fired down through the windshield into the vehicle at those two unarmed people. So he was charged with voluntary manslaughter. He's pled not guilty. Those charges are pending. And after the Cleveland Plain Dealer published an expose about a group of 6 police officers that were accused of brutalizing 39 different people over a period of 2 years. And after another shooting incident in which a Cleveland police sergeant shot at a man twice, who was actually the victim of a crime, a man who was fleeing from a hostage situation. This guy had escaped a crime and was running away. A police sergeant shot that man twice, even though the man was naked except for his butt. This litany, right, culminating in the 100-mile-an-hour, 62 police vehicles, 137 shots fired police car chase, prove that big, but apparently pretty terrible police force in Ohio. And maybe that will help. When local police departments are terrible, or they do terrible things, often the best source of hope for trying to fix them is that the federal government might come in to try to make things better. But it is worth noting that even as the federal government swoops in to try to save Cleveland from their terrible police officers right now, the federal government is not doing this for the first time. The federal government swooped in to try to save Cleveland from its bad police force a decade ago as well. This is the second major Department of Justice intervention in the Cleveland police force in a decade. Apparently the first one didn't take, so they're trying it again. And since this more recent intervention started, Cleveland has also seen the death of Tamir Rice. Last week, after the Michael Brown grand jury verdict in Ferguson, Missouri, Cleveland was one of the places that marched to protest the death of Michael Brown, like so many cities did around the country. But Cleveland also marched to protest the death of 12-year-old Tamir Rice, who was killed by Cleveland police while he was playing with a realistic-looking BB gun in a Cleveland park. He was at the park alone. He was 12 years old. The police later released this videotape showing the encounter in which they killed this boy. The entire interaction you'll see between this 12-year-old boy and the police officers who killed him, the entire interaction lasted less than 3 seconds before the boy was dead. The police officers pull up, the boy falls over, and he's dead. Here's what we've learned in the last 24 hours about the 2 officers involved in the shooting of that 12-year-old kid. Again, think Cleveland Police Department, right? Cleveland Plain Dealer
advancing onto the crowd. Here come the police. The line is standing. The crowd is peacefully standing with their hands in the air, yelling, "We are peaceful, hands up, don't shoot." Here comes the St. Louis County Police Department, continuing to advance their line. We have now pulled back a city block and a half. There it goes. They're now firing onto the crowd. Ouch! Shit! They're firing rubber bullets. For a second time, violence has erupted in the city of Ferguson. They are firing rubber bullets and smoke grenades. Now they are firing them into the neighborhoods, into the back of people's houses. Continue to broadcast.
He's a white teenager who was shot and killed in South Carolina in a Hardee's parking lot. Cops tell us that he was very dangerous because they were in the middle of doing a sting operation. He was in the drive-through lane at Hardee's, and when they cornered him, he was 19 years old when he was shot to death. He was on his first date with a 23-year-old. Probably pretty.
Police officer Jeffrey Freeman has been fired for, quote, violating policy after shooting and killing an unarmed 17-year-old naked teen in Austin, Texas, David Joseph. Now, he was shot and killed by Austin, a police officer, for 10 years for, quote, refusing orders and charging at him. This happened last month. Now, the original statement coming from the 10-year police force veteran, this is coming out of the Combined Law Enforcement Association of Texas. This is what they had to say about the officer. Officer Freeman is a member of CLEAT, and we're representing him throughout the legal and administrative process. He has not been charged with anything. We encourage the community while grieving to have patience and allow the process to go forward until all the facts are known.
Good cop, bad cop. Bad cop. Cop who shot unarmed bipolar war veteran in Georgia could face charges. A Georgia prosecutor said on Thursday that he will seek charges against a police officer who fatally shot an unarmed Air Force veteran last spring. Officer Robert Olson responded to a 911 call on March 9, 2015, about a naked black male behaving erratically at an apartment complex near Atlanta. Reuters reports that neighbors told the police the man, later identified as Anthony Hill, was crawling around naked, knocking on doors, and acting deranged. Hill's family said Hill was an Afghanistan war veteran and struggled with various mental health issues. In his Twitter feed, Hill said he was bipolar. When Olson arrived at the apartment building, he found the 27-year-old Hill on his hands and knees in the parking lot. Reportedly ignoring Olson's warnings to stand back, Hill charged at Olson with his hands up. Witnesses say Hill never got within 3 to 5 feet from Olson when Olson pulled out a gun. Olson, a 7-year veteran of the police force, also had a taser on him at the time. Olson fired 2 shots into Hill's chest, killing him. Prosecutors in DeKalb County, Georgia, will now recommend that a criminal jury indict Olson. The grand jury will begin hearing evidence for this case later this month. If Olson is charged with Hill's death, he will be the 9th officer charged in connection with 8 of the 986 police shootings in the United States in 2015.